Okay, guys, I am here. All right, it's a morning. It's gonna be a busy morning. I don't have much on my schedule till later today, so I figured let me do my last harvest of the summer, or I will call it fall, before I start being busy, right? And I'm gonna be doing my vibration plate as I work on this. I don't know how it's gonna work. Let's do 10 minutes of this and then I can let you guys rest. So, you see, I'm shaking. So I have this vibration plate machine that I use on and off. Um, and it's very efficient. I already did my 1.7 miles walk this morning. So I'm just going to do this for a few more minutes and then we can continue. Thank you for joining. I am on both my YouTube and my TikTok. My goal was to be here for while I work on these colors, but I don't think it's gonna work. Let me show you what I'm working on. Look at that. And it's a harvest I decided to do just this morning because what time it is? It's around 9:36 and I'm hoping to be done with this in an hour just so I can work on something else. So feel free to ask me any questions. I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a nurse practitioner, and I'm also drinking my coffee. So hey, join me, let me know where you're watching me from. Please comment, like, share. So I am working on my health. This is one thing I've decided to take more serious before we get to the holidays, because you know when we get to the holidays, what you haven't done is not gonna be feasible. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. This is like a fifth of what I'm working on. But hey, the goal is to get this ready, prep them, put them in a Ziploc, and then freeze them. So when you are ready to use them, you just grab one and utilize that. So let me show you the machine. Okay, buddy, pause. All right, let's pause that for a second. So this is what I use. This is my veggie chopper, veggie bullet. I've had this for, oh my goodness, so many years. And it just makes my work easier. I use this mainly if I am making a big batch like today. But if I'm just making a little bit for dinner for that night or for that day, I just use the regular chopping. So that's one thing that I try to do. So like today I have a lot. If I decide to chop it a few at a time using a regular chopping board and my knife, I'm gonna be here till very late. So this cuts my time into less than 10 minutes of just the most difficult part of this is washing the vegetables. So that's what really takes a lot of the time. But once I'm finished with washing, this here is a breeze. And it's easy to clean actually. Usually how I clean it, once I finish, I just wash it and let it air dry in the sink. And that saves me a lot of time as well. So let's continue with my vibration plate. And somebody was asking me why I'm shaking, and it's because I'm trying to make use of my time exercising as I work. So, first hand hygiene. And my sink is clean. So I usually wash a few veggies at a time. So like this, hi Marcus, hi Agron, hi, welcome guys. So I'm streaming on both my YouTube and my TikTok. So I'm gonna be paying attention to both sides. And maybe I'll just stop with this vibration machine. I think it's just not working well. Um, so, but I'll link it specifically. I'll link it to my YouTube because that's where I can sell things. I can link it without violation. My TikTok, I'm still working on that, but yeah. So hang out with me. Let me know if you have any question. Hi, let me know where you're watching me from. And thank you so much for all the follow, all the likes. So as I mentioned, I'm a nurse practitioner by profession. So I started doing my live sessions on TikTok last night, and I can say it was a successful event. So if you're looking for some education content as well as a nurse, live visibilities. Okay, I see. All right, I'm not sure what that is, but I just got a restriction on TikTok. So I guess because I did recommend a product, which I'm not supposed to. All right, guys. So let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know where you're watching me from, and we're gonna hang out just for a few minutes. I'll do the first batch of washing and show you how I use my veggie chopper. There's a lot of rules on TikTok which I'm still learning. The other day I was live and I got a warning that my video was redirecting viewers outside to go purchase items, and I think that's kind of the same warning I just got. So I'm trying to be a good girl here. Yeah, hi Marcus, where are you watching me from? And please comment, like, share, follow, subscribe, depending on which place you're watching me from. So how I do it, it's kind of difficult to show, but I wash literally one leaf at a time and scrub it. So with that, during the process, I make sure I visualize, I look around, because that's what we want, clean vegetables. So let me know what your plan is for the day, what's your gratitude for today. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get off my TikTok because I have a restriction on there. So I don't want to continue violating this. But I do appreciate everybody who was able to join me, and Okay, yeah, so it's not visible. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of my TikTok, and maybe I'll come back in. Okay, let's get out of here and continue on my, let me continue on my YouTube. All right, just making sure don't get any further restrictions. All right, guys, so hang out with me. And I think it's because I talked about the vibration plate or something like that. So yeah, I'm still learning the rules over there. But anyway, thank you everybody who's on here for my YouTube channel. I'm gonna be here just for a few more minutes so I can continue with my daily process. I have actually a training to do, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I work on these vegetables here in the next few minutes. So yeah, please subscribe, comment, follow, share. Let me know where you're watching from. And I'm really scrubbing these veggies to make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be. So I pay close attention to every single vegetable that I put through here. And I'm not sure how long how long this is gonna take me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to be a long morning, but I hope I can get done before noon, so I can jump on my next meetings. Otherwise, it's gonna sit here the whole of the afternoon until this evening. So, fingers crossed. Hey guys, so I'm washing my vegetables one leaf at a time. And if I tell you how far I have to go, you'll feel bad for me, right? Yeah, it is going to be a long morning, but we are gonna work together, right? You promise to hang out with me as I work on this, because it's not easy, but knowing where it came from. These are some of the vegetables we planted earlier this year. because last year all our collards were infested by some kind of worms, and we had to get rid of the whole thing and started fresh. So we've eaten a lot of these throughout the summer, and now that it's getting cold already, we are just trying to stock up for the winter, because eating doesn't stop, right? So that's the goal. This should yield at least maybe like 4 to 5 large Ziplocs, which is gonna last us several weeks, because we don't eat collards every week. We alternate between collards and spinach and some traditional vegetables. Actually, we haven't bought spinach for a while, so we haven't bought spinach for a while. We've been doing a lot of the traditional vegetables that we planted throughout the summer, and then a couple of collards as well. I occasionally buy mixed vegetables because it's just easy, simple. The kids enjoy that compared to this. So let me know what your favorite vegetable is. What's your favorite vegetable? And thank you everybody who's watching. Please like, comment, follow, or rather subscribe, and let us hang out together as I work on this. And then I'll just show you which machine I use for my vegetables. I use Veggie Bullet. I've had it for several years, and it's my best, I wouldn't say best friend, but when it comes to vegetable chopping, I love it. I love it just because it makes my work so easy. And it's also easy to wash. So I already have a batch here. Let me do a little more washing of this, and then I'll show you how I use my Veggie Bullet. So hang out with me, don't leave, because I'm gonna show you how I use this. Yeah, you hear that? That's me washing my vegetables because I like my vegetables clean. So I first do the washing. I set them on the side in the other sink area, and then when I'm finished, I rinse them a few at a time before removing the stalk. And with the stalk, you can eat the stalk if you like it crunchy. I do not. I love my collards pretty soft, so I always get rid of the stalk, right? So these are veggies we planted. We have a very, very small kitchen garden that we work on every summer. We are in Texas, so we usually start the planting period like sometime in March, when it starts warming up a little bit. So by this time we still have some good weather, but soon it's gonna start getting cold, because November is around the corner. So before that happens, I figured let me go ahead and harvest out whatever we have left. And there's still quite a bit actually that I'll need to get in touch with my friend to get some for herself and her family, because I love sharing. Yeah. There's still quite a bit left there, but I wanted to make sure I get this out so they do not harden so much. So within the next few days, hopefully by the weekend, they should be able to get some vegetables out of that as well. So stay put so I can show you my veggie bullets that I use for chopping my vegetables. Actually, this specific brand is not in market anymore, but there are different other types of food processors that you can use that makes work easier. They do the same job as well. I haven't used those ones specific, just because I have this one and I've had it for over 10 years. Over 10 years. So it's my good friend, especially when it comes to chopping vegetables. Yeah, we're working on vegetables. We are washing, and then we are gonna go ahead and rinse, and then use my veggie bullet to chop them and then store them in a Ziploc and freeze. So they're ready for when we are ready to eat, when we are ready to cook and eat. Okay guys, just give me a minute here. Okay. Okay guys, I'm almost there, so hang out with me and I'm gonna show you my veggie bullet, how I use it. To prepare and storage the food. So washing your veggies is very important. Washing them clean. I've seen people soak in baking soda and using vegetable cleanser. I just hand wash mine real good, one piece at a time. My other veggies, I do use baking soda and vinegar just to soak them. But maybe I'll invest in a vegetable spray cleaner. That might help make them a little more clean. But I trust I do a very good job when it comes to washing them, because I wash one vegetable at a time. However long it takes me, I'd rather spend time and know I'm eating clean food than rush through it. So I'm finishing up the first batch. I still have a second batch. And maybe after my first batch, I'll rest a little bit because, hey, it's not easy as it looks. And then I have to keep bending over to the sink because this back is not the same back it used to be. All right. So I'm making sure my other sink is clean. And now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna be rinsing them off from here, one at a time or a few at a time. And that's why the first time I spent a very, very good amount of time washing them to make sure they're clean. And I'm just rinsing a few at a time and setting them in this other sink, which is clean. I just rinsed it off, and then we'll move on to the next step. And as I rinse, I still look and visualize to make sure I didn't miss anything while I was washing, because hey, we are human. We make mistakes, we fall short. So I'm just about to finish rinsing this, and then we'll start removing the stalk. Thank you everybody who's watching. I do appreciate. Please comment, subscribe, for like. This helps me with the algorithm. Alright, up to the last one. So guys, up to this part here, This is like a part of what I'm supposed to be working on, but I'm gonna stop here just so I can show you how I utilize my veggie chopper for this. So the next thing I'm going to do, this is a multi-step process, by the way. It's not easy, it's time consuming, but it's very, very worth it. So next I'm just going to remove the stalk from these collard greens one at a time. And honestly, how I do it is just grab, slide down, and break it, right? So I'm gonna set them on this other sink here, which is clean, until I'm finished, just so I can show you how I utilize my veggie chopper. And maybe I'll do like a short video and link it to so you guys, if you want, actually no, because this specific brand is not available anymore, that's for sure. But I'm gonna show you how I use it. There's different veggie processors as well that serve the same purpose, so you just have to see which one works. I use the chopping side, or rather the slicing side. And in case you didn't know, these stalks act as manure. You just let them decompose and then use them in your garden. And that's what we've been doing. We've been recycling a lot of these plants, vegetables, fruits, all the residues we use, banana peels, orange peels. So it's all natural. It's all natural. All right, so I'm just going to finish this and then I'll show you my veggie chopper. I know I've said that several times, but I'm also trying to be efficient with time here, because once I start with the veggie chopper, I want to continue with a lot of them before I stop. Take a break and continue with these other ones here. So collard greens is one of my favorite vegetables. I add a little bit of cream to mine, and that just gives it a little different flavor, different taste, but hey. So I'm finalizing this. And be warned, the veggie chopper is a little loud, but we are gonna go ahead and do that here in 1 minute. All right, up to the last 5 pieces. And all done. Now for this next step, so I use my bowl to collect the veggies. And then I use my veggie chopper. So this is what makes my work easy. And let me see. All right. I don't know if you can see well, but So the veggies go up here in there. You have this in case you need it for the plunger, but I usually don't need it most of the time. Give me a second. All right, so let's get this done, a few veggies at a time. You don't want to overfill it, and you don't want to underfill it as well. So just make sure you slide it through here. And just be careful with your finger. You don't want to push your finger too far in, because you know what might happen. So this makes my work easy. I wish I'd put a timer just so you see how fast this works. Because if I was to chop this by hand, I wouldn't be finished even with the first batch of it, the first bulk of it. And you can go back in and pick out the big portions if you want, and just pass them through again. And this is very efficient actually, guys. I don't know how you do your veggies, but one thing, I love being in the kitchen, but I love when my work is easy. All right, I'm off to the last few batches. And let me just show you closely how it looks. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I do. So I have a couple of these veggies still left, but I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to take a break while I let my other veggies soak here in the sink before I continue. So usually once this is done like this, we just put them in a Ziploc and put them in a deep freezer. And with the deep freezer, they can stay there for as long as you want them. And they're ready to go, guys. Look at that. This is one of the things that I love about being efficient and not over exploiting your time. Time is money, and I value my time. I value everybody's time, and I don't take this for granted. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'm gonna sign out so I can take a break and continue with the remaining ones. So let me show you. So this is what I've done so far. this is what I'm going to work on next. I need grace, right? So this is going to be another 1 hour. My goal is to be done with everything by 12 so I can rest and join my meetings for the day. Thank you, everybody, and till next time, signing out.